Hey, well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony Thomas with BSN Collectibles, a division of Brand Shopping Network, where we sell comics, cards, action figures, and much more. You can check us out at www.bsncollectibles.com, and you can also check out Brand Shopping at www.brandshoppingnetwork.com and shop the brands you know. Today on BSN presents the Pure Power Comics. And on the Pure Power Comics, I'm showcasing the cover of the week, the signed book of the week, and we're going to do the graphic novel of the week, cards of the week, and we're going to do comics for troops, which I have 5 comics that I'm going to be giving to troops, and unboxing of comics, as well as Stan Lee recognizing Mr. Stan Lee again on his venture over to DC. Still finishing up that series, as well as how comic publishers can add value to their comics. How comic publishers can add value to their comics. And I think at this moment in time, Marvel and DC and Independence, especially Marvel, since the rumor is going around that Disney is talking about closing Marvel, which I don't think that's going to happen. Marvel is doing too well in the movie industry for Disney to get rid of Marvel. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, Disney bought cross-gen comics, and you haven't seen them do anything with those characters yet. At least I haven't. And they probably bought some other publisher characters and stuff. But at least that one thing I like about Marvel is their movies, and I like some of their new books. Plus, especially the new Hulk series. But I want to add, I want to showcase, talk about, how Marvel can add more value to their comics. And I'm going to talk about some of the things some of the publishers done. But I got an idea that I think it would go over real well if it's done correctly, and it would add value to the books, to the collector, as well as the publisher. And I think whatever publisher embraces this idea, they're going to be the one that benefits in the long run in a big way. And it's right before you, it's right in front of your eyes, but sometimes people don't see, that potential, and it's standing right in their face. And I'm gonna share that. Since this thing has come up with Marvel, or Walt Disney World having issues with Marvel, I might tell my idea next week. I was gonna wait a while to tell my idea, but since this stuff is going on, I'm gonna talk to some people and see what they think. That's some of the retail shops. I'm gonna talk to them and see what they think about the idea, and how I should approach it if I was to tell Marvel or any other publisher. It ain't nothing that I can get copyrighted on, I don't think, but you never know. But I think it's a good idea, and I think it will work. I know it will work. Besides all them variant covers that Marvel are doing, they're doing, 30, 40 covers for one issue, which I think is stupid. Man, how soon do we forget about the oversaturation of those, four covers and all that, them exposed covers and everything that they did back in the 90s and stuff, in early 2000s, that some of them was good, some of them were not good. And I think that hurt the industry in a big way, because you're doing multiple full covers for one issue, Now you're doing the same thing. Now you're doing variant covers, and now you're making books. Whether people are just buying the books for the covers. You know, so they're not even buying the books for the storyline. So, so my idea, I think, will benefit the collector in a big way. Um, the, Instead of them buying multiple variant covers, I think, if you do this idea that I got, hey, I mean, it's gonna be a big plus, cause like I said, everybody does it. Everybody, goes out to get this done. So I think it'll be a knockout of the park. So up before you, I have the cover of the week, and this cover is the Uncanny X-Men number 274, featuring featuring Rogue, Magneto, Kazar, and Nick Fury on the front cover. And and on this here, inside this issue, you have Jim. Inside the issue is taking place in the Savage Land, and you have, like I said before, Rogue, Magneto, Kazar, Nick Fury, Shield. You got Wolverine, Storm, and Kazar's cat Zabu, and you got X-Men. The X-Men also, obviously, is on the Uncanny X-Men. It also features in this comic, but they're close to the end of the book. When the X-Men pop up, and basically you got some of the Kazar villains. The Kazar villains are pretty much in this series. Amphibious, Whiteout, Barbarous, Brainchild, and some of those characters of Kazar. And obviously we got Jim Lee, he's the artist of this book. You have Scott Williams, the inker. You got Chris Claremont, which is the writer, and the letterer is Pat Bruzon. And you got the colors is Joe Rosa, and editor is Bob Harris. Editor in chief is Tom DeFalco. Tom DeFalco. And and this book this is in in the 1990s. 1990s. 91, if I'm not mistaken. And great artwork by Jim Lee. And look at that gun that Nick Fury has on that cover. It's a big gun. So, up next, that's the cover of the week there. Now I'm going to show you not only the graphic novel of the week. This is an all-in-one. This is all-in-one book here. This is the graphic novel as well as the signed book. And I think this is one part of the series that started it all. The Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 6, volume 6. This is signed by Greg Land. I got it signed at MegaCon. Excuse me, and 2014. MegaCon 2014, March 21st to the 23rd. And in 2014, the MegaCon was held during March, obviously. And this year, MegaCon is going to be held in May. around that time, 2019. May 1918, something around that time. And but this issue here has Greg Land as the artist. Mark Miller is the writer. Pat Ryan is the inker, and the variant cover of the issues inside is Arthur Sudam. He's a painter, and he does. And I got to meet him at MegaCon several years ago, and I like his variant covers of the Marvel Zombie. I mean, he just knocked those out of the park. I mean, great. I mean, great artwork, great job of the variations that he done of the original covers, and the Marvel Zombie series started from, if I'm not mistaken, from the Ultimate Fantastic Four issues. This particular book is issue 27, issue 28, issue 29, and issue 30, and issue 31, and issue 32 is in this volume. And but the Marvels, the zombies appeared in the earlier issues, which was I think 25 or 23 or somewhere, 22 somewhere, of the Ultimate Fantastic Four. So, and that's where that series or the idea came from when they did this series. And I guess somebody, maybe Marvel had this already planned out. Let's start this in this series, and it will pop off and do a Marvel Zombie series, which was a big hit. I bought pretty much all the Marvel Zombie series that came out. I mean, even though the Marvel Zombie series, the covers were awesome, but the inside was not that good. I mean, I didn't appreciate the artwork inside. I appreciated the story. The story was good, but the artwork could have told a better story. The artwork itself, and but this here is by Greg Land. Awesome storytelling in his artwork, and Mark Miller, his writing is good in this and everything, and just a great book. This is a signed book as well. I got the certificate of authenticity. So if you don't have this series, add it to your collection. Add it to your collection. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. So up next, I'm going to talk about Stan Lee, and oh, and by the way, like this is episode this is episode 4 of let me double check. This is episode 4 of Pure Power Comics. And I got some ideas for more ideas that I'm gonna do with Pure Power Comics, and with the pricing of comics and stuff like that, from the Wizard magazine. I want to take the pricing of comics back in the day when Wizard was grading and pricing comics and stuff. So that's one thing I'm gonna add to the Pure Power Comics. The next one up is Aquaman, and this one here, like I say, great read. Get this added to your collection. This is Aquaman, and basically, I looked through this series. I'm gonna pop this up. I looked through this series of this particular book of Aquaman, and Scott McDaniel Stan Lee with Scott McDaniel created Aquaman, and Scott McDaniel artwork. I don't like this is got my mind went blank for a second, and I know I pop it. Oh yeah. Hold on a second. One second. Cause I hate to tell you something and while I'm looking it up, I'll put the spike up that way you have something at least to look at. Adam Hughes. My bad. I'll tell you different stories. So this is Scott's version. Oh, here's his version of Aquaman. So Aquaman, I guess he put this version that Stan Lee created is Aquaman turns into a water. He become a water being, like he turns to pure water, and Aquaman. Okay, that's like Spider-Man turning into a spider. No, Stanley. This one here I did not like. I didn't really care for the story inside. I mean, I think it could have. To me, it seemed rushed. Wasn't a whole lot of thought in it. But I can appreciate it because it was Stanley. I think Stanley, I just didn't. I wasn't feeling Aquaman on this one, but I don't like that artwork there. I'm just being honest. In my opinion, hey. I mean, some people can appreciate that style of artwork, but I'm not the one. Now, I like this here as artwork is concerned, but I don't like the character. I do not like the character. I don't like that design. I like I said, the best design so far that I like Stanley done is Wonder Woman. He knocked that out the park. But this one here, hey, I would say, hey, go back to the drawing board. I mean, a guy who turns into pure water, that's his, power. I'm pretty sure he can control water. But why do he have to turn into water? I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe he's trying to get an idea from Iceman, because Iceman turns into ice. Maybe he's trying to go from that route, like Aquaman, Iceman. So hey, that's Aquaman. Let's turn when he touches the water, or he can turn to water by wheel. Okay, but anyway, I still appreciate it because it is Stan Lee. I got my cup of coffee. This cup of coffee, cup actually keeps the cup hot, coffee hot for a long period of time. TAL is the coffee name of the coffee, name of the coffee container. TAL. And one thing, let me see. One thing. Hold on a second. I got it back. I thought Come on. Hey, this is I mean, this Aquaman here with the long hair is okay, and with his hand missing, I didn't like that. But you know, the origin of Aquaman being raised by some dolphins and then found by some lady at the lighthouse or something like that. What you said here? Now, growing to childhood with the dolphins, Orion eventually left after he inadvertently caused the death of his dolphin brother. Orion was then found by Arthur Curry, a widowed lighthouse keeper, and adopted the name Arthur Curry Jr. Curry told Orion that he was his son and his mother, a mermaid, had abandoned him. Believing himself to be half human, Orion lived with the humans, so he wasn't even half human, dude. Okay. So he was actually an Atlantean, you know, and but I guess he got rejected from his people. But hey, like I said, I'm not a big Aquaman fan, but I mean, if you are a Stan Lee fan and you want to add this to your collection, for the sake of adding it to your collection, I would say do so. You might like the story. I mean, I personally didn't care for it, and you know, I just kind of skimmed through it and looked at it. I couldn't. I mean, the artwork. I just couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't get past this artwork in here. You know, yeah. You know how you read stuff and you, I mean, some of it looks cheesy, looks pretty much like, you know, a DC style of storytelling, and in their older books. But come on, look at that. What the hell is that? Okay, anyway, but like I said, I can appreciate it being from Stan Lee. And besides that, hold on a second, let me check my phone. I just got a text. Yeah, so all right. Come here. Yeah, so up next now I'm going to showcase where am I? So, like I say, this here is cool. Like that better. Like that better. And I'm gonna show my action figure up to date, which is the Funko Pop. Star Wars Funko Pop 201. 201. This is the Funko Pop. first order executor. Bought this at MegaCon. I actually bought this from a friend of mine who sells at MegaCon. David Reed, Dave Comics. If you see him there, check him out and buy something. Good guy, him and his wife. I haven't took it out the box. I'm not really planning on taking it out the box. Might, but right now it's gonna stay in the box. So that is, you know, I'm not. I got a whole bunch of Funko Pops, but I'm not per se into Funko Pops. But I don't have to be into them to sell them, so I bought some to sell. I bought some to sell. I wanted to get a Dark Vader, couldn't find that. I would have kept that one. And what? Okay. Yeah, so now next I'm gonna do card of first up card. I'm gonna showcase some comic cards. I got 5 comic cards that I pulled out my box, and first one up is the Silver Age Fantastic Four cover, and this looked like it was done. Could have been done by, I think, Alex Ross. If it doesn't say, it looked like his artwork. Stan Lee sketch and art. Oh yeah, and Alex Ross salute to the Silver Age. So this right here is that covers Alex. This card basically is Alex Ross from the #1 Fantastic Four. Sketch graphics and autographs. You know, you got trading card that you can get also featuring these, you know, great artists, and as well as writers Stan Lee, John Romita Sr., John Buscema, Sal Buscema, George Tusky, Gene Colan, and so forth and so on and much more. Also featuring 99 cards featuring Marvel's greatest Silver Age moments. Silver Age tribute to Jack Kirby. And I love Jack Kirby art. I mean, I love his imagination, his creativity, some of his simplicity, some of his detail work. I mean, he had it all, and I just, if you look at his work and just you just say, wow, man. I mean, who think of, you know, ships and planets and backgrounds the way he did and everything? It was just his artwork's awesome. So this is a cool card. Got Witchblade, and I think I don't know if I showed this one, but I mean, I have this. My Michael Turner. T-Tron. And this came out in 1996. Top Cow. 1996. Witchblade. Top Cow production. Nice card. I need to add sleeves to that one, as well as the Fantastic Four. Next card. Let me move this box. Next card. Yeah, I'll move it. Is Onslaught. I haven't had a chance to read that series yet. I bought the series, but I haven't had a chance to actually read it, and that's what I need to do. I will read that and share it with you, just like I'm reading the Hulk series, Hulk Gray, and I gotta adjust the title on that too in the YouTube. This is number 4 from the Wizard magazine. And this came out in 1996. Flair Skybox. I like the way they do that. So if you're an Onslaught fan, this card could be yours at a low price of $1 million. Nah, I don't know how much this would go for. I'll have to look it up. And I have found another one of Angel, number 1. Gotta put her in a sleeve. 2 sleeves. Nice artwork there. You don't know if you want to fight her or hug her. Or run. Especially her carrying that big old blade. That axe. And I got 2 Superman. Firepower. DC. And this was in 1996. 1996, man, was a hot year for cards. And this is the other Superman I gotta put in the same thing. It's got that exposed, you can see it, its muscles are bulging out the card. And those are the ones I'm showing this week. And I will put all the ones that don't have no sleeve in, I will put sleeves on. As well as, now, let me what we have here, pop that back up one more time, is Heroes Reborn Wizard number half. Marvel Comics. Live feel. His artwork. Checking my phone again. And once again. Now we have live here. And basically it's, I guess, when that Marvel asked Jim Lee and Liefeld to come and draw some of the characters for him. And Wizard did a little tribute book or tribute book with them, and also they came with a certificate of authenticity of the Heroes Reborn. Heroes Reborn number not one but a half was available only through a special offer in Wizard, the Guide to Comics. This was number 61. Their Wizard magazine number 61. Each copy is a part of a limited edition which was distributed in a special protective holder with a copy of this certificate. So I don't have that holder, but I got the certificate and I got the book. I bought this, because I said, oh, it's got the certificate and it's got the book. And I never sent the one I had in for this cause. I mean, hey, Liefeld, he did his thing, but I was not truly a big fan of Liefeld. So, but I can appreciate what he has done for the comic industry as far as Deadpool, some of the other characters he created. So, can't take that away from him. Now, up next, I have X Factor. And X Factor, this is the world's greatest comics. X Factor, Sins of the Mother is the title. And also you have Howard Mackey, the writer, Art Thibby, Whitney McFarlane, and Hack Shack Studios. They do the inking as well as the drawing. And I don't have these in backing boards and plastic because I just took them out the box. I know. And yeah, these ones I'm going to show you today are not in backing boards and plastic yet. I mean, the artwork is okay. I'm artwork inside from 1 to 5, meaning 5 is the best, 1 is the worst. I will give this a 1.5. X Factor 139, and this issue came out in. And it has a 1997. It has a pull-out cover, which is advertisement. And then it has some, information about some of the characters inside, from Forge to Mystique, this is a Mystique on the front cover. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Mystique. Now, up next we have Ultimate Fantastic Four number 16. And this on the front cover, artwork is by Adam Corbett. And on the front cover you have the Human Torch. And the Negative Zone, the End Zone. So you have Adam Corbett. Warren Ellis is the writer. John Dell with Nelson and Larry Stuckers are inkers. They got 3 inkers on this book. And who is John Barber is the assistant editor, Nick Lowe associate editor, and they got all kind of editors. Ralph Monter editor and Joe Quesada editor-in-chief. Editor-in-chief. I like the cover. Because you got shows the ship look like he's flying from the ship. This is the Ultimate Universe Human Torch. And up next we have Punisher. Punisher #1 from the Max Comics. Punisher #1 from Max Comics. And that's a division of Marvel Comics. Another division of Marvel Comics, or another brand, or whatever you want to call it, from Marvel. I guess where they can get a little darker in those particular. So you got Garth Ennis and the artwork from 1 to 5 in this issue, I give a 2. And that's being generous. The storytelling, basically, this is a war book. I haven't read it, so I can't tell you about the storytelling, but I mean the artwork, I give a 2. Front cover, I give a 2. That's one from 1 through 5. Like I said, basically this is my opinion. So here, next I got Web of Spider-Man. I remember when they started this series. This came out in 1995. Featuring Peter Parker. He's in his black costume, and Peter David is the writer in this issue. Sal Buscema did the breakdowns, and Bob McLeod did the finishing. Rick Parker did the lettering. Bob Sharon did the coloring, and Jim Owsley, editor, and Jim Shooter is the editor-in-chief. Boy, they didn't. Yeah. Artwork inside, I give a 3. I give the artwork 3. I give the cover a 3. That's between 1 and 5. 5 is the best. It's great. Obviously, you see that Mary Jane is coming in the door. There's a guy hiding behind the door with a gun. Spider-Man is above the window. Obviously, Spider-Man gonna pounce in here and just lay the smack down on this dude before he touches his lady. So, and up next, I have Daredevil, number 99, The Man Without Fear. The Man Without Fear. I like the cover, and man, this cover look like I forgot that guy's name. They say writer is Ed Brubaker, Michael Lark, and Stephanie Stefano. I can't pronounce your last name. Start with a G. Is the artist. So I'm assuming one of them did the artwork on the outside. The artwork inside, I give it a 2.5. Artwork inside 2.5. But the cover, I give a I'll give it a 4. I like that cover. Like he took his time. It looked like a painted cover too. It's a painted cover. And this issue came out in 19... this came in 2007. 2007, not 19. Yeah, 2007. You got Matt and I don't know her, but then you got the shadow of Daredevil in the back. Now this issue here I have seen. This next one coming up is Fantastic Four, and I've seen this book actually going for a lot of money, and I got it for pretty much 50 cents. This is Joe Quesada is the editor of this one here. This is the Fantastic Four number 1, and they say it's back. Meaning they're back, I'm assuming. And Steve Ditko salute inside here in this magazine. And who is Carlos is the graphic designer. So they had a lot of different cover artists on here, and from Alex Ross doing some stuff. But I like this. Okay, see by there. Color artist Mark Gracie. Matt Gracie is the color artist as well as. But yeah, I haven't had a chance. Like I said, just got these in, so I haven't had a chance to look at it or look through it. But I give the cover. I like the cover, so I give that a 4.5. I like the cover. Inside, I give. Inside, I give it a 2.5 inside, but the cover looks nice, so I give it a 4.5. From an artist point of view, I like the thing, but I don't like his head. It looks like he's bald-headed, which he is bald-headed, but Thing head is shaped a little different than that. His head is too round in that picture. Unless he has involved. So up next I have, now basically all I'm showing you today is Marvel books. I separated the books that I bought from the Marvels, from the DC to the Independents. And the next up I have is Hulk 393. This is one of those special shiny covers, special 30th anniversary issue. This Incredible Hulk, the strangest man of all time, not the strongest man. Is he man or monster, or is he both? And the cover art is Del Keown, and Del Keown did the artwork inside. To me, he's a top-notch artist. I like his artwork. I give this book a 5 on the inside as well as the outside, because I'm just a fan of Del Keown. So this is 339. this is, you got Rick Jones, you got Betty, and I think it's Tab something, and but I like that cover. In this book here, it's got some little nicks here and there on the side and up at the top. But if I sent this in to get graded, which I'm planning on sending this on books in this year. And inside they got a different artist, and Dale Keown did the artwork in the main part. Then they got different stories. They got different artists doing other stories. All I did is pick out Dale Keown. His stuff is the best. The rest is one. The other art, now this is a classic battle of Hulk and Abomination, the leader. Hulk fighting Avengers. You know, Hulk fighting a Thing. So they got different flashbacks. You know, Hulk fighting Doc Samson. So I mean, this is a good book to add to your collection. I may get them graded. Now up next I have Operation Galactic Storm Part 1, Captain America. This came out in March. This is issue 398. Captain America versus the Wrath of Warstar. And the artist penciler is Rick Levins, story Mark Grunwald, inks Danny Ballou, letter Joe Rosen, colors Christina Skila, editor Ralph Mancho, editor-in-chief Tom DeFalco. Now, as far as artwork is concerned, the layout in the front, 1 out of 5. I give it a 1. And artwork, I give a 1. Artwork inside, I give a 1. Give a 1.5. The character Captain America is fighting on the front is a 1. Look like he's just robot. Basically, that's what it is. Next up, I have Ghost Rider. Vengeance is mine. And this came out in 1993 of July. And the writer is Howard Mackey, penciler Ron Garner, and Chris Eby is the inker. Janice Chang is the letterer. Gregory Wright is the colorist. Bobby Chase is editor. Tom DeFalco is editor-in-chief. Front cover, I give a 2. Inside, I give a 2 as well. I give a 2 as well. And this here. And this is Ghost Rider. Because to me, that front cover, the background could have had a little bit more detail in it. Like it was rushed. It looked like the villain that, I'm assuming he's a villain that's holding up Ghost Rider. He could have had a better structure, detail. The artwork is just not pulling at me. And Ghost Rider looked a little better than him. His skull could have been a lot better. The detail in the skull, the shading. Besides that, I give it a 2, 2.5, something like that. Now, next up I have Incredible Hulk versus the Incredible Hulk. This came out May 1997. And Peter David is the writer. Peter David always, he was excellent writer. Everything Peter David pretty much wrote, not everything, but everything that I have that has Peter David as a writer, has been good. Mike Donato is the penciler. Donato Studios inks. Glenn Oliver is the colorer. Bob Harris is the editor. And this one, artwork on the front cover, give it a 1.5. Inside, and give it a 1.5 too, because the Hulk to me just doesn't have any int. And this here is, I don't know, he just look too blockish. No character. I mean, you got this Hulk here, these Hulks here, then you got this Hulk here. Besides being green, the Aquaman Hulk looks a lot better. 100% better. So, but I give it, that's my grade on it. Hold on a second. Let me see. It might be my power going down. Oh, yeah. My phone is letting me know to recharge. Yep, that's my. Yep. I'll have to get my charger. Got the phone sitting to the right of me. Okay, next up we have Marvel Nam. Just checking, texting somebody. I got a customer that want me to do a painting for them, and they asked me about they want me to do a cover from original from one of the books and stuff, and I'm giving them a price on the side. They want me to do a 36 by 36 painting. They want me to do a cover, comic book cover, pretty much. Now here, this next one is Nam. The Nam. I never got military book back then. I'll answer them in a few minutes. Yeah, Doug Murray is the writer. Mike Gold does the breakdown. Bob Camp does the finishing. Phil Felix letter and coloring. Mike Higgins is the editor. Larry Hama Hamey is the consulting editor. Tom DeFalco is the editor-in-chief. Pat Redding is the managing editor. Now, inside, I give this book actually some surprisingly decent art inside. I give it a 3. Give it a 3. Cover, I like the cover. I give it a 3 also. Cover inside and out is a 3. This came out in 1987, December of 1987. The Nam Volume 1, number 13. The Nam. So I give it a 3. I like the simplicity of that, because basically you're at night, you're sneaking in to take down whomever you have to take down, and that's the first military book that I ever owned. I don't even think I got any cowboy books. Anything. I got monster books, but I don't think I got any cowboy books. That's the first military book, though. But it would be sold or in a package deal. Might do something like Beulah boxes and put some boxes of packages together to sell on eBay. X Factor, Shards of Hate. This came out in July 147, issue 147, and this is front cover. This is a pull-out cover. Same thing they're doing. The inside of the detail of the characters inside. This came out in 1998. This is 147, volume 1, X Factor, and Mike Mike Miller, Joseph Harris, and Nigel Lim, writer, inker, and artist. And Bob Harris is the editor. This here, I give it a 1, inside and out. A 1.5 if you don't, if you want to take it from there. And inside, just not feeling that. But I always say artwork is in the eye of the beholder, and my beholding, I'm not feeling it. Hold on a second, I gotta get my charger. My phone about to die, and I'm conducting business while I'm doing a video. plug this phone up. Got my handy dandy portable charger. And if you happen a chance to look at this video, if you look at I'm going to be doing I did one art video, and me doing Spider-Man and Ghost Rider. I'm gonna be shooting videos of me doing some inking, more inking, not inking but painting. I keep saying inking, but I'm painting the details in the characters. I outline. I gotta do some outlining on some of the characters and stuff and all that. So be sure to check out those videos. Those videos will come out this week. I might have one come out tonight. Once I shoot this video here, I may end up just shooting a video of me doing some artwork on the Spider-Man, and everything like that, and adding some color as well as some black and everything like that. So my plan is to have that done, because I got 3 paintings I got to work on. Somebody's talking to me about another one now, which I thank God, for that, and also blessing me with that. So I'm not complaining. And just some people ask you, hey, can you have this? And I tell them, hey, I got this going on, I can do it, but what is your time limit, and when do you need it by? And if they tell me they need it by tomorrow or next week, I will pass, because I have obligations to already do finish up this one Spider-Man and Ghost Rider picture, as well as 3 other paintings that I have to do, and people already gave me a deposit on those paintings, and I plan on making sure I take care of those customers first. And the reason why, if I was doing it strictly full time, I could knock the Spider-Man out in less than a week and a couple of days, but I'm doing it part-time because I work a full-time job working in the government, plus I play in a band, as well as I run a business as also with my wife, a e-commerce business, which keeps us pretty busy with packing and shipping and everything and listing. Okay. Next up, I have Venom 150. Venom 150, an oversized 150 spectacular Venom, and this came out, and this came out in let me see who I can find. Who can I find? The artwork is a little, it's okay. It's decent. It's a little cartoonish. When you're dealing with comics, you're dealing with cartoonish anyway. But when I say cartoonish, is not, it's not as, in some areas, it's not as detailed, the proportion, I don't know. I give it a 2. And as far as, they might have it on the back, because sometimes they put who actually did this in the back. You know what? Yes. I think God, I am so close to that place. Yeah. I would have said something. You should have done nothing. If it's a festival, you can't do it. Yeah, it's a festival going on. I would just be saying, I would leave. I'd leave. Yeah. Mike Costo is the writer. Trad Moore is the artist. Philip Sabrina is the colors art. Yeah, okay. We know about that festival. Clayton Cow is a letterer. And Gerardo Saldavo is the cover artist. Redo Sub Double is the cover artist. So I give it a 3. Venom is not one of my favorite characters. Artwork inside I give it a 2. Artwork inside I give 2. Cover I give a 3. Cause it got Wolf. That's not. I don't know. I think that's Wolverine. I see 2 blades, not 3. So I don't know if that's Wolverine or that's the lady. And Spider-Man, obviously. So. And cover I give a 3. Inside I give a 2. Now next up I have Star Wars Annual. This came out in 2016, February 2016. Star Wars Annual. Now I'm planning on reading this here. I like anything Star Wars, and I might end up, if I like it, I'm gonna keep it in my collection. The cover I give 2.5 on the cover. So hopefully the storyline is good. Inside that I like anything that is in the stars. That's decent. Inside I give a 3. So 2.5 on the cover, 3 in the book from 1 to 5. And did I tell the artist? Who's the artist? My bad. Hold on a second. I like to share that stuff. Okay, where are you? Marvel always switching around. Old Man Logan. Like I say, if you want to, you can check out my artwork, which I'll be featuring it tonight around about 7 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna post this video here, and once I get things set up where I can go live, I'm gonna go live showcasing me doing my artwork. Right now, I just got the videos going right now, so just a matter of, oh, here we go, my pack. If it was a snake, would have bit me. It was right in the front. I just missed the page. Angel USADA, artist Karim Galen, writer Paul Mounts, colorist, and if I'm chopping your name up, sorry. Dan Buckley, publisher John Kusada, chief creative officer, and senior editor Frank Peraz. And as you heard, and you probably read, the Disney is talking about doing something crazy with Marvel. See, that's what when DC bought Marvel, when they bailed them out, whatnot, I said, oh man. I mean, have DC done some good things? They haven't done no good things with this Star Wars series. So I like Solo. I take that back, and I like the Rogue One. I like the Rogue One, and I like Solo. But the other 3 Star Wars series they put out, they bossed those up big time. They missed the mark. It's almost like a blind man was doing those movies. Fight scene between the villain and the girl was like, okay, that looked like me and my sister trying to fight. Uh, okay, next up, Alpha Flight. This is the last book. Alpha Flight, and out of these books I showed, I'm gonna give 5. I'm gonna package them up for uh, um, comics for troop. So, I think I might do them all except the Star Wars there, and I might Star Wars is gonna stay in my collection. Um, yeah, I think I will do them all in comics for troops. So this month, March, I will donate 5 of those books, as well as sell the rest in a package deal. Alpha Flight, Attack of the Killer Zombies. And the Killer Zombies in here are purple. And this is Alpha Flight number 15. I never was a Alpha Flight, I guess they're Canadian, so I never, excuse me, and just not because they were Canadians, I just was never a fan of those characters, and the artwork in here is I give it a 1.5. I mean, like I say, artwork is in the eye of the beholder, and in my eyes, I am not beholding it real well. So if I had my choice, you got, if I had to actually buy this off the rack, it would stay on the rack. Steve Siegel and Duncan Rulon, story and art. Rob Hunter is the inker. Lee and Dehan is colors, and Comic Graph is the letterer. And Jane Gardner, editor. Bob Harris is the chief. Yeah, this here is I give the cover a 1.5, and I give the inside a 1.5. But like I say, somebody else might appreciate that better than me, because art, just like music is in the ears of the listener, whether you like it or not, and art is in the eye of the beholder. So, well, and this is here, like I said, what I'm going to do next week is, this is the series I'm going to be sharing with you about on Monday. I'm going to give you a rundown of the hook on this book here, what I think of it, by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sales. I could tell you already, I love it. I love the storyline. Hulk Gray. On my YouTube channel, I put an E, so I got to change that E to an A. That's my bag. But I love the series. I read, all 6 books, but I'm gonna read them again and share with you my thoughts on each book. So I'll take a book a day, 6 books, and I'll share with you. I'll make a video and just let you know my take on it, on the story. But I already told you how I feel. I love it, but I'm gonna tell you what you know, the different scenes and stuff going on in the book from my point of view. And Tim Sales and Jeff Loeb collaboration on Daredevil, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Hulk and everything. It has been great. I got all those series and stuff. So I think I will do a rundown on each one of those, but I'm gonna start with the Hulk Gray and share with you that. So that is. Make sure I'm not missing nothing. You always got your cue card. That way you can make sure you're not missing anything. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. Look at that. I was gonna miss something. Oh man. Oh, hey, that's what happens when you got your mind on other stuff. What I want to share with you now is how the comic industry, you know, can add value, how they're taking value away from their comics and everything like that. So we're gonna talk about the death of Superman. This is a graphic novel of the death of Superman, which actually was decent. You know, Doomsday killed him, beat the H out of him, and you know, when they did that, basically, you know, yeah, and if you were around old enough to be around when that situation came out where Superman got killed by Doomsday. You know, everybody and their mama went out and bought, you know, issues of that book and everything like that. So that added value, so that made non-readers, non-comic collectors come out the woodworks and buy comics. So they probably sold millions of those books, and then they probably sold thousands and thousands of the spin-offs from that series as well, and everything. And I looked through that one. I haven't truly read it, and I bought this one here, and I messed up that. Long story. Had something sticking to it by mistake and everything like that, but I still, you know, I might just peel it off. I think you could take it all off. It didn't damage this part here, so I might just take all that off since that's already messed up. Because I went and got another one that was in good shape without the film on it. And the Back from the Dead, Adventures of Superman, number 500, 1993. Man, can you believe that? 1993, man, 93. Wow. I mean, they came out in 1993. Hold on a second. Yeah, Superman fighting Doomsday. Wow. Let me look at something. But see, back then, you know, it added value to comics because it brought non-readers into the industry, non-collectors into the industry, and also they created another cool character. Yeah, Doomsday. This is Superman, the Man of Steel, Doomsday, Justice League, Superman, Doomsday, The Adventures of Superman, Superman Action Comic, Superman, the Man of Steel, number 19, Superman, the Man of Steel 18, and Superman 19, and then Superman 75. They had so many Adventures of Superman. I got that issue, matter of fact, I need to add that with this pack. But this graphic novel came out in 1993. Wow, man. That was years ago. Man, that was like 26, 25, 24 years ago. That was that long ago? Man. Yep. And then you had then they came back and they had the death of Clark Kent, Superman. '18s. The death of Clark Kent. And at one point, this book was going for $25. I don't know how much it's going for now. I gotta put a new bag board on this one here, but I'll leave it on. It was going for $25. 18. Oh. Shiny cover. And this right here, this the Back from the Dead. I bought that at less than cover price. Both of those. Got them in the back issue bin. Bought that back issue bin. And also the same thing, that book there, this book here. Same issue. It just got wrapped up. It was wrapped up with the cover. So, how did this book bring value? Bring new readers. Tons of them. But did the readers stay? That's the whole thing. Did they stay into the comics? I doubt it. They probably got them books sitting inside their closet, or they already messed up, torn up, try to sell them, and they gone. Or they might have bought, kept them for a couple of months, did a quick sell, and everything like that. They made a little money off of them. And but I did bring value to the comic industry at that time, because you brought people in to buy comics just by an iconic character being killed. That would be like killing Spider-Man or Captain America, which they did kill Captain America in some form or some way. And they also tried to kill Batman in some form or some way, by sending him back in time. They sent Captain America, his subconscious, in somebody else's body in another time, and everything like that, So, so it really wasn't killing those characters. Like Superman, they really didn't kill him. He made his way back, because when they killed him, I said, "Oh, they'll bring him back. He's making too much money for him." That'd be like Disney killing Mickey Mouse. It ain't happening. They'll bring him back. And to me, when they brung Superman back, or he came back in a different form or something, and they made him in this is what kind of killed it for me. I haven't read this story, but this is 123. Ready for the next century? Spot Superman. Yeah, electric Superman. Okay. But, hey, did it work? No. So, that is my take on how they added value. And they added value here by killing off Superman, bringing in readers, then they ran them away when they. That's my opinion. This is my opinion when they created this joke. Some people probably like this Superman version, but I don't. So, my thing is, now I'm going off on a different track on here. On adding value to the comics, or adding what we call opportunities. Like when you're at the movie theater and you're watching, let's say you're watching Transformers, or even the Aquaman movie that just came out in December. If you'd have went into the movie theater, or you was coming out the movie theater, and you had a kiosk out there selling somebody cutting grass next door. My next door neighbor is cutting grass. I like to go out there and just say, "Hey, I'm shooting a video. Cut that joker off," but it ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna talk a little louder, that and talk a little faster. That if that was the case and it came out, would you buy a T-shirt based off that movie? Would you buy a comic based off that movie if a kiosk was outside selling that particular movie? Or it didn't even necessarily have to be a superhero movie. It could be, you know, any movie that has a T-shirt, based off that movie, and poster and whatnot based off that movie. They was out selling them in a kiosk. I think that's a great idea. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm surprised that the movie industry, these Marvel, DC, and all these other, especially Marvel, who's making all these movies all the time, don't take advantage of that and have, or the movie theaters themselves don't take advantage of that and have kiosks out there selling, uh, um, merchandise based off those movies. Get the permission, and you got the permission to show the movie, get the permission to sell the merchandise out in front of your theater as a kiosk. That would bring more value to those comics and those movies in the long run. I think that's a new way of doing it. I haven't seen nobody do. I haven't seen nobody do it, but locally here in the Central Florida area, they might be doing it somewhere else up north or somewhere down south. But I haven't seen it personally. And also, when you go, you know how you can add more value to that. Let's say Aquaman movie. I'm using that example, or the Avengers movie. When they showed the Avengers, let me go with Avengers because I'm a Marvel fan. When Marvel showed Avengers, the Infinity War, they should have had on your ticket stub, a coupon or a voucher to go and or discount or whatever to some comics. That way you can take that coupon or voucher to your local comic book shop and turn it in for a percentage off books. It's got to be something to pull a customer in. It ain't just going in there and say, hey, this advertisement of this local retail store. Or better yet, you can also do it online. But I say, hey, help out the local retail shops and everything. So by doing that, you'll say, hey, here in Central Florida, you got Coliseum Comics. I mean, they're one of the biggest comic book retailers around because they got several shops. They got one in Kissimmee. They got, I think, 3 in Orlando, International Drive, on Molina Mall, on Orange Blossom Trail. So they got comic shops all over the place. And just by having that voucher in there, or that coupon or sales ticket, saying take this to your local comic book shop, they will honor this for buying an Avengers book. It could be geared just for that particular book, for that particular movie. You don't necessarily have to buy a movie Avengers book, but here you get 50 cents off, or you get $1 off, whatever, or you get half off, you know, by taking this coupon in. And then another thing, Marvel, you're missing the mark. DC, you're missing the mark when you are showcasing your movies in the movie theater while you're not advertising your comics. Everybody sees this. Everybody talks about this. Why are you missing the mark? Why you're not advertising your comic books? Why when you're showing commercials and everything like that before the movie starts. Talk about the comics you have at the retail shop, the latest comics you got coming out, and they ain't necessarily got to be based on the movie you're getting ready to show. And that's one thing that the comic book industry is missing. I never seen when I went to Black Panther and any of those movies. Nobody has done this yet. So those are my ideas. Take them, roll them up, smoke them, and see what you get out of it. And see if they'll apply it. I doubt it. But I think those personally are good ideas that will work. So until next time, let me check my list before I say next time, cause I got everything covered because I got all my stuff laid out that I was gonna show. Did that? Well, and yeah, and I'm gonna do story time, like I said, with the comic book, the Incredible Hulk, not Incredible Hulk Gray rather. I'll be sharing those next week. Hulk Gray, the whole series. Comic news. I know everybody's probably in a buzz about Disney talking about canceling Marvel, and maybe that's why they canceled those shows on Netflix. And what am I working on? What am I working on? What am I working on is I'm gonna pick up the camera real quick. So, hold on one second. Let me take this off the base. And that's my coffee. That's me watching TV. On YouTube stuff. I'm talking. This is what I'm working on. Ghost Rider. I don't want to punch no button. And this is my hand. So that show you how big. This piece is 30 by 36. Ghost Rider. And it's made of wood. Pre-treated wood. Here I'm gonna be, I already inked this. So I'm gonna ink this area here later. And then I'll start on the Ghost Rider. And I'm debating whether I'm gonna paint it. Color it after I do Ghost Rider, or I can start up here and start painting, adding the reds and the blues and the shades. Here I made a little boo-boo, but I can clean that. But I'm not worried about that. I can clean that. Here's got a little cut in the wood. Not cut, but a little dip in the wood. I wish I would have sand this even smoother than what I tried sanding it, but I wish I would have took my time and sanded a little bit more before I put the primer on there. Next one I do, that's what I'm gonna do, because the next one is the same size as this, and I'm gonna sand it a lot better. So I'm going to use 2 different grades of the sandpaper and make it real smooth. And this time when I paint it with the primer, I'm going to paint it all white. You know, several coats of white on there, and 2 to 3 coats of primer, before I actually start drawing. So, but I'm gonna see how when I do. Another thing I do, I gotta test is yeah, but that's what I'm working on now. I have that done in about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks ago. But yeah, if I yeah, I'm gonna make sure that's really sanding up good. But I have that done in 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna go to the next one. And the next one will be a surprise. I'll showcase that as well. But I'll be shooting a video of me doing that later tonight of the doing the painting on the Spider-Man. So that is it for now, and we will see you later on tonight if you are interested in watching me do the Spider-Man picture. And if you happen to not see this video and you happen to see the Spider-Man video, that's cool. You know, it'll be on the YouTube channel, on the BSN Collectibles channel, or Brand Shopping Network Live channel, and everything like that. So come check it out. And also I'm also going to put that painting on my channel, was Anthony Thomas YouTube channel. And I might be changing my name because I realize there's a lot of Anthony Thomas on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to update my personal YouTube channel, cause some of the people that say, "Oh, we can't find your channel. It's a lot of Anthony Thomas." I said, and I looked on there and I said, "Oh yeah, there's tons of them." So I might have to do something, come up with some other catchy name or something like that, or some ending to my name. All right. Until then, next time, whatnot. Have a great night. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.